got to feel in heaven when my lover's near. Lord, let this moment last for another year. Though today has ended, the night's still young, I'd say. Lover, don't go away. Let it be the thing that I am longing for. Let's fly out from Manhattan to the California shore, just to watch the ships at night on the San Francisco Bay. Oh, lover, please, please stay. Don't say you have to go. Don't say you need to run. I'll stop the clock on Central Station and we can have a drink downtown. Let it be the night that I am longing for. Let's fly down south to Austin or to Ecuador, just to drink pina colada on a hot, wet summer's day. Oh, lover, please, please stay.
Are you a Kimbo?
I'm a Kimbo.
I thought you were Danny D.
I thought I was too, but apparently I'm a Kimbo.
You're Kimbo?
I'm Kimbo.
Oh, hi, Kimbo. How are you? Oh.
I'm running so far. I feel like I'm running so far behind.
I don't know how that happened today.
I know. Well, the chat decided not to. You talk to him. I'm just going to get us into the chat.
I'm going to talk to you. He's going to get us into the chat. Hi, friends. It's 80s day. I'm so excited. Yes. I had to pull out my Gem and the Holograms t-shirt because 80s. I'm super stoked. Sometimes when he tells me to talk to you, I feel like I'm put on the spot and I don't know what to say. I have a lot to say. Hi, I'm Elle Diabloe. Welcome to the Stir Crazy Sans Cassette. If you have never been here before, I am Elle Diabloe. That is the Divine Danny D. And we're here to do some drinking and some cooking and some shenanigans.
I feel like you treat it almost like you've never done this before.
Well, no. And please, if you're doing that, you do that. I'll talk to the people. Hi, the people. If you're here, say hi in the chat. Cheers. Happy Wednesday. Joyeux mercredi.
I love when apps decide at the very last minute they need a password again. They've never needed before.
Fun times. We're having technology problems. But, you know, things could always be worse. We could be having worse problems. Technology problems are...
let's check the traffic lights.
How many of those have traffic lights in them?
Which of these have traffic lights in them?
We are not a robot.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah. So, hey.
When they do traffic lights, do you count the pole? Or
count the fire hydrants.
I know. That was my question.
I don't know. I'm trying to entertain the people.
I know. This is an entertaining question. Do you count the pole? When you're counting, do you count just the lights or do you count the pole?
I also count the pole because it's part of the traffic light. The traffic light doesn't seem to be able to exist without the pole.
All right.
So, but that's just me. Always counting the pole. Yeah. What's up? What's happening? We're going to do some 80s stuff today.
This is taking forever!
Oh my goodness.
How many goddamn traffic lights do you have? This is so stupid!
Internet.
This is the fifth one!
I know what it is. Could you stop yelling?
No, please? I can't. This is insane. Listen.
You know
listen.
what? I guess, never mind. You can listen to Dan scream at the computer, and I'll just stop talking at you for a minute until this is done.
I'm angry at this.
I understand that.
But it won't
But then
stop.
just stop.
Don't stop. I can't stop. We can't talk to people. You'll be upset if you can't talk to the people, right?
Well, I'm upset that I can't talk to them right now.
You
Because
are literally talking
but
to
you're
them.
being terribly distracting.
Well, that's kind of my job.
No, it's really not. Really, really not.
There we go.
There we go. Back in.
Enable. Oh my God, that took forever.
Hi, Misty Portugal.
Oh,
How are you?
my
Can't
God.
stay for the whole show? Why the hell not? Just kidding. Glad you're here. Unless you're gone already.
There she is, yes. All right. Try reloading the page. What?
Because you didn't answer enough questions.
Oh my God.
Hi. Let's start over. I'm Elle Diabloe. The guy having a meltdown is Divine Danny D.
This is
the story.
There we are. It's working. It's back. I hate
back.
when this does this. I literally, at the last minute, had two cameras that decided to give up on me. And then the chat decided
Not to chat?
it didn't want to chat. It's again, it's the same thing. Suddenly it decided it didn't need a password. It never asked for this password before.
Mm-hmm.
And then it sent me through 17 different...
everybody knows, because we were with you on this journey.
Yes.
As you yelled and screamed at the machines.
And also noticing our camera is off, so I'm just going to quickly fix that.
Our camera is off?
Yep.
Our
Why would not everything go wrong right this second? There we
It's
go.
80s, and maybe the technology hasn't caught up enough for the show.
I think
maybe
this is better now. That's better
Maybe
now.
that's what it is.
Okay. We're back. Everything is ready.
I never went anywhere.
Did you turn your microphone on?
I did.
Oh, you're fantastic.
I know. Oh, hey!
Hi, everybody.
How are you?
Welcome to Dining the Decades, the 80s.
1980s.
As you've been pointing out, and I've been trying to do.
I think my hair gives it away.
You look very 80s.
I actually used to wear my hair like this in the 80s.
Did you?
I did.
I
think
didn't.
I used to do it better in the 80s. It was like a weird...
I didn't wear my hair. I did wear stuff like this, though. I'm Gordon Gecko.
You're Gordon Gecko?
I'm a cross between Gordon Gecko and all the people I used to work with at my dad's clothing store.
Oh, see, and I'm just 80s me with my Gem and the Holograms t-shirt, because she's truly outrageous.
Yeah.
And some kick-ass neon 80s leggings.
Yeah, no, I like those. It's very 80s. The shirt really does things for your...
My breastises?
Your breastises.
That might just be my breastises.
It could be, but I think it's a combination of all of it.
I think I just got some
good breastises.
rock and tits.
I think it's a side pony. I think the side
pony enhances
really
the
for
tits.
some reason it brings out your boobs. I don't know why. If you've never been here before, we are based in Labelle, Quebec, Canada.
That's just near Montreal.
Yeah, north of Montreal. And before times, in the land before dinosaurs, we were live performers.
Yes.
We worked primarily in burlesque.
We were.
Thank you very much. I was a comedian, a host, a producer, a writer.
I was a burlesque dancer and teacher and choreographer and also host and producer.
And we were both very funny.
Ha ha ha
Ha ha ha ha ha.
So much so that we have to tell you how funny we are.
Oh, I think that's the best way. If you have to tell somebody, that's when you know.
That's how you know you're
really
You've
nailed
made
it.
And when the great panini hit,
the great panini. That's my favorite new expression.
Thank you. I don't know why, but
yeah,
we took to the internets.
We took to the internet
to entertain you live, albeit à travers a screen. But you know, we wanted to connect with the people, and the live stream seemed like a good way to do that.
And this is what we've done, and we've taken our joy of food, our joy of cocktails.
Oh, I hate it when you put us on the TV up there. My bubble is very large.
You got a good bubble.
I got a big bubble.
You got a good bubble from this side too. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom, bow.
Bubblicious from both ends. There you go.
Like a dog that chewed some bubble gum. Bam. We've been doing this, and it's been fun. Every show is a different theme. Every show is a different idea.
Every show is a different level of drunkenness. As you know.
We get progressively drunker. If you like to watch two people drink throughout a show and have fun.
Well, we've had nights where we've finished pretty sober, and then we've had some pretty
nights where we've
pretty silly nights.
Finished pretty fallen over.
Pretty schmammered.
I'm very excited tonight. We've got a few things. Now this is the 80s. We were both we've done now. This is our third Dining in the Decade.
Yes.
The first one was the 1920s.
Yes.
Which neither of us were alive for.
No.
The 1970s was our second one.
Yes.
Which we were both alive for, but
I
we
was
were
very little.
very small children. I was a little older of a child than you. But you were a bit of a... No. I turned 13 in 1980. So my teens were all the 80s. Mm-hmm. So I just thought, if we're going to do the 80s, we got to give people some context.
Yes. I turned 2 in 1980.
So I think I'm just going to switch it just so we have some context. We're going to both stand in the middle, and we're just going to hit this. Oh, I was on the wrong side. There we are. This is us this is to me in 1983 or 84.
That is me in either 1983 or 84 as well.
This is me in honor band, my honor band picture.
I'm checking you out.
I've got a huge question. Now, you gave me 3 pictures to choose from.
I did.
I chose this one because
yes,
I got some questions.
Okay.
First of all,
yes.
What's this? Why are you holding your knee? Why are you stretching?
I was posing.
This is a pose?
This was some kind of supermodel.
This is a supermodel pose. So basically the supermodels pose like they're about to go for a run.
Or maybe maybe that was like this, but it didn't quite work out because I was maybe 3 or 4 in that picture.
This is cool. Now beside you is a box.
Yep.
You have I like the fact that you've opted to not put that foot on the box, but hold it near, almost in defiance. Like saying, I could put it here.
I don't need you.
See how far I can lift, but I don't need you.
I don't need your stinking box.
My question is what is in that box?
I am assuming
Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
No. Knowing my dad in the 80s, meat. I'm sure it was like a box from the butcher.
A box of meat?
A box from the
butcher.
butcher.
So you decided, I'm going to go with a 4 or 5-year-old child.
I'd say 4, maybe.
You decided that you needed to pose like a model beside a box of meat.
Probably an empty box of meat.
Now, are you wearing jeggings? Or are those just blue tights?
No, you could see I might still have either pull-up styles on, or so maybe I was younger, maybe I was a little bit younger, or those are some pretty big kid day of the week panties.
Yeah, now these aren't your pants.
No, these are not pants.
These are but these are also not your boots.
No, they're not. Those tights probably don't belong to me. They probably belong to my mom.
That's a fair statement.
Boots for sure belong to my mom.
The heel on that boot is fantastic. It's like it'd been taken out by somebody. And then they're matching, or are they 2 different boots?
No, they should be matching.
I don't think they are.
For sure.
I really don't think they are.
Sure
one looks like a motorcycle boot, and one looks like a flapper shoe. I don't know. And the best part is,
that haircut.
Your brother looks exactly like you now. This is what your brother looks like now, just out of beard.
No, I was always posing. So this was for sure me, raiding my mom's cupboard to find some cool tights and her boots, and my pink K-way maybe. I don't know.
That to me looks like a members only jacket.
I was trying to be
but I don't see how you could have been a member.
No, but I think I was being one of the pink ladies, maybe.
Oh well, they all posed that way.
To being a
this
pink
is
lady.
odd. This is odd. And this is, of course, a picture of me with a saxophone. I just needed to find a saxophone as big as
tall as you. Yes, it does. It is. It looks like it might weigh more than you, though.
I lost that saxophone.
In a bet?
No, in Heathrow.
In the war.
And I had to find it in Heathrow.
Oh, that's like a small city.
While holding my other tenor saxophone.
Adventurous, you were.
It was a little insane, but that is there's a lot going on. The teeth in that is just.
There's a lot of teeth.
It's a lot of teeth,
ear.
and none of them are going in the right direction. You'd think one of them would point down. Oh, and I was a skinny child. Anyways,
yes, I was not.
Well, There we are. So that is our 80s. If people get bored, if new people come in, we'll show it to them later.
We can take it down. It's just going to stay up.
No, it's off here.
It's off
You're
there.
just watching it up here. You're watching the wrong camera.
Oh.
That is what we're doing.
This is why I don't do the news.
What are we cooking today? Today is 80s Day.
Yes.
So what are we cooking?
I had so many ideas. Of
course. You've done none of them. Or you've done one of them. You have to have done one of them.
And you've done none of them.
It just seemed like the next logical.
No. I had so many different ideas. I was going to make homemade Pop-Tarts. I had some other, I wanted to do...
Pop-Tart's not necessarily an 80s thing.
Pop-Tarts to me is very 80s. It's probably the last time I had a Pop-Tart was in the 80s. I was thinking of doing some knockoff McDonald's because there was a whole bunch of McDonald's stuff introduced in the 80s. But au fur et à mesure, I went to the wall and back on all of my recipes, and I decided to combine two very trendy 80s foods into three very trendy 80s foods into one mega
super
80s food. So we are doing a sun-dried tomato, because that was super trend in the 80s. Goat cheese, also super trend in the 80s. Quiche. Also super
Quiche.
Quickie.
What do you?
Quiche.
It's quiche.
Quiche. That's what I said.
And I love that. I remember when the book Real Men Don't Eat Quiche came out. It was a big deal, and people just took it way too seriously.
Well, I mean, for anybody who's a younger audience member, maybe explain.
Yeah, well, and especially for me, there was a book that became very popular. I can't remember the name of the writer right now. I will look it up in a minute. Who wrote this book called Real Men Don't Eat Quiche? It was a tongue-in-cheek comedic look, but also essays on masculinity in the 80s. And I believe, it's been so long since I read it, that the essays were written very much in a sarcastic tone of this is what a real man is like. And unfortunately, we were less smart in the 80s, and there's a bunch of men that just
were we asleep, not woke?
Yeah, took that as, oh, this guy's being serious, or these people who wrote this book are being serious, when in fact it was all very sarcastic. And so, as to me, especially not being a very macho butch kind of man growing up, it was a bit of a.
When did it change for you?
When I've never been macho or butch. I've been bacho and much. Of course, my favorite sequel to Butch and Sundance, the early years.
Yes, that.
But so to me, it was a fun book. But quiche became everything. Quiche was not only a food that existed everywhere, but quiche
it was a manner by which you judged your masculinity.
Exactly. If people served quiche, you either were saying, "I got the book," and nobody gives a crap about quiche anymore. Or they were saying, I don't think you're that. I think you're the kind of fellow who would eat quiche. It's almost like in the 20s saying to I believe you are a friend of Dorothy.
Gotcha. Thank you, Joe Schmula. Hi, welcome also, and Neil Schwartzman. We're going to go over
by Bruce Firestein.
Firestein. Fear Street.
Zoot Zoot. Boogie.
People. Let's say hi to the people.
Let's say hi to the people. Let's see if all of these cameras work.
Hi, people.
Hi, everybody. How are you? You all look lovely out there. Misty Portugal is here. Joker TV. Is here. Wow. Hello, Joker. Mr. Schwartzman is here, who called us dorks. Well, he would know.
We can smell our own meal.
And of course, Mr. Schmula is here. It's so good to see you, Mr. Joe Schmula.
We miss you, Joe.
Yeah, it's good to hear
soon
from you.
For hugs.
Yes. Just a reminder, everybody, if you're watching on the show, we are on not only whatever platform you're watching on, but we're also on our Facebook page, on Stir Crazy's Facebook page. We are on YouTube on our page, our channel there. We are on Twitch on our channel there. We are also showing up on Periscope, which is our Twitter page.
On the Twitter.
And also on the Divine Deities.
Nobody's hanging out with us on Twitter.
Nobody is hanging out on Twitter. No. But it's funny, they always don't show that much on Twitter, but later on we do get a number. We get a, I don't think Twitter pulls the numbers.
They're not showers.
They're not showers, they're growers.
They're growers, gotcha.
So if you're watching from any of these things and you want to get involved, we recommend, personally, either YouTube or Twitch. Those are probably the best. They get all of the chat responses. They cross, because people can chat across the different platforms here. So if you really want to be involved in all the chatting and all the fun that's going to happen today,
hop on in.
We recommend one of those two. But of course, all of these will be fine if you just want to watch.
Do you know what's really funny?
What?
I put so much blush on today because I was going all 80s, and you can barely even tell it. Like, to me, it was so offensively like, pink, but there we go.
I greased my hair back and it's really accentuated the bald spots.
Oh,
it's nice.
Good job.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Shall we go back over here?
I think it's about time for you to bring forth the rhythm and the rhyme.
All right. So you talk to them for a second while I get some booze.
You're going to get some booze?
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, I was so torn, even outfit-wise today. You know, was it to dress in a 80s style T-shirt? Was it to dress in a cut-off 80s style T-shirt? Because if you know me, you know that, like, Fame is my style guide, really. That's sort of, or like Flashdance, that's sort of the fashion pocket I sit in. But no. We opted for, I think you bought me this T-shirt.
Did I?
Yeah,
I think I did. I think I did.
Although in
I
all,
don't remember where I got it though.
It's so funny.
Maybe I got it online.
Maybe, but like growing up, I was all about the bad characters, and my sister was the good characters. So I was like a Misfits fan.
A Misfits fan.
Yeah, and
they also had the better song. We Are the Misfits.
Our song is better.
Yeah.
We Are the Misfits. Yeah. Again, it's kind of like when you have to tell people that you're funny. I think when you have to sing about the fact that your song is better, maybe it's not better, but
well, maybe
whatever.
I believe the whole thing.
But even like, yeah, I was into the Misfits more than Gem. I think I was, although I was super into She-Ra, Princess of Power.
I think at that age, I was starting to get out of watching the after-school show. I mean, I was 13, so we were still. I didn't get the G.I. Joe. I just thought G.I. Joe was stupid. I thought,
but not G.I. Joker.
Not G.I. Joker. G.I. Joker is the
A1.
man. You're the man now, dog. But I really did like He-Man because it was ridiculous.
Oh,
it was the most ridiculous. And what I'm very excited is a new He-Man cartoon.
I know,
which looks like it's taking itself really serious.
I know. But I loved She-Ra.
You did?
And the Princess
of Power? She-Ra, the Princess of Power.
The Care Bears had a cartoon also.
I did not. That was a little young for me.
Yeah. I'll let you make a cocktail.
Okay, so when we're talking about the 80s and we're talking about cocktails, first of all, there's not a lot of good cocktails. It's not a good cocktail decade.
Even though the movie Cocktail came out?
Even though the movie Cocktail Flair, and again, if you watch Cocktail, it's never about the cocktails, it's about the flair. Yeah. And this is my, and I couldn't really get into any of the Tom Cruise in the 80s movies where it was always, I'm Tom Cruise, I'm the best, blank, give me a blank, and I'll win the blank. And that's all of his movies.
Scientology.
I don't know. No, it was always like Days of the Thunder, where he's literally a race car driver, Top Gun, where he's literally the fighter pilot who wins war in general.
Cocktail.
But I like Cocktail. Give me I'm a bartender. Give me a spinning bottle, and I'll win the heart of Brian Brown, I believe. It's a very odd film. But the one thing that was very, very popular, and I remember because this is, again, right when I started drinking, the popularity of very fruity drinks that all had really overt sexualized names. And that is the wheelhouse we are sitting in today. So the first drink we are going to make today, you want to bring that up? Yeah, hit it. You hit it. Because I can't remember what it's called. I literally can't remember what I'm making. Oh, yes, Sex with the Beach.
Okay.
That's what it is. I knew all the ingredients. Couldn't remember what it was called.
I didn't want to do it before you introduced it because I didn't want to.
Yeah, but I know.
I didn't want to tip your bits.
Well, it's all right. My bits were gone.
I'll be right back.
So we're making Sex on the Beach, one of the classic, probably the amazing versions of this idea. A sort of sweet fruit juice based drink, All of them, the only thing that I'm missing to really make this truly 80s is I'm using iceberg vodka and I'm not using Absolute. Absolute, of course, to make any type of these drinks, you need Absolute vodka. That makes it so 80s that if you make 3 of these in a row, Don Johnson will appear behind you.
Here I am.
You're not. That's my favorite. That's my porn name. Don's Johnson.
Don's Johnson.
Long Don. So we're gonna make. Ever seen that? Long Dong. The cat.
No.
No, never seen the Long Dong Johnson cat. All right, we are making the Sex on the Beach simple drink. We need 4 ingredients for this. We need some vodka. The simplest, cleanest vodka you got. If you want to keep it 80s, you're using Absolute, or using Stoli, you're using
Smirnoff.
Smirnoff, thank you very much. The other thing you need...
I drank a lot of vodka in the 80s.
For some reason, 80s requires sweet peach-based beverages. So we're having a little peach schnapps. Our next drink will use SoCo, which is another peach-based cocktail. Or Booze. A peach-based booze. And then two juices. We have an orange juice. We have a cranberry juice. If you can get freshly squozed orange juice, even better, but less 80s. All right. First things we're going to do is we are going to put some ice into our glasses and cool those down a little bit. We are going to take our vodka. We need 1.5 ounces.
Shall I put this back in the freezer?
Yeah, sure. And these are, can you also get me out a lime or a lemon? Either of those will do. This is a built right in the glass drink, so you don't need to fuss with shaking. We need to grab 1.5 ounces of our vodka right into the glass.
These guys don't look like they're going to last much longer, so you can have this guy.
I need it for garnish, so a nice looking one, please.
Maybe don't.
All right, so 1.5 ounces of our vodka. We're then going to add to that 1 ounce of our peach schnapps. Peach schnapps. If you're not from the 80s and you've never had the peach schnapps, this was the thing you stole from your parents' liquor cabinet. There we are. That's when yeah, that's the right way. Yeah. And we're going to add that into it. Boom. There we have that. We're going to add to that 2 ounces of our orange juice. Now you can pour that right in, but I like to keep it a little bit measured. We're going to go 2 ounces of orange juice.
Who's waving at Lindsay? Hey, Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay. And another 2 ounces, which we're going to pour in last. Now this is another one of the, it's not like a layered drink like we did last time, but this is an ordered drink. You want to have the cranberry go in last. To give it the, because it'll settle at the bottom the most. So we're going to put
Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman. I remember.
Oh, Captain Caveman. Also, wasn't the 80s the beginning of the Transformers too? And like My Little Pony.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
Yeah. Oh, you want a second?
Oh, right. I knew there was some reason I had a.
And sometime during the pandemic, I also remembered randomly, like it was some kind of weird acid flashback, that the Gummy Bears had a cartoon in the 80s too. I don't know if anybody remembers this at all.
Quite possible.
Oh no, I remember it to the point that I remember the theme song.
Well, that's...
But it's not good. I tried to watch it. Not
no,
good.
It doesn't sound good. And any of these things are... Now, this is not a very 80s thing to do, but I do. It's an orange juice-based drink and all of this sort of citrus. Always finish it with a bright bitter. Whether it's a Peychaud, or in this case, I'm using just an orange bitter. There's a couple of drops of that in there. And there, I just want to now add... Can you grab me the small one, please? Now, this will be... Normally, I would just go, boom, here we go. We're going to add to this. Normally, I would do oranges with this, but we don't have any orange. No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
I have one hidden. In the fruit
No,
bowl.
you don't.
Oh, no?
I threw that out.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't nice. It got all moldy.
Yeah.
Yes. So there we have, and we're just going to have that. And this, we want something sort of dipping in a phallic shape, if you will. So the wedge
phallic wedge
has the phallic shape there. And there we have our Sex on the Beach.
What's
going to get that?
That little, that lovely color before I mix it up.
And there we have that.
There you go.
Sex on the Beach. It should be peachy and orangey and very sweet.
Hey.
Still a good drink.
It's a good drink.
It's a good summer drink. This is a nice pitcher drink.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's sweet. I tend to, if you're gonna do this, I would take this recipe and cut it in half with tonic water and make that your pitcher.
I would also add some kind of herb to it, I think, like a basil or a something. Maybe.
Well, if you want to keep it very 80s, basil wasn't invented until 1997.
Okay. Misty asked a question, is there a vacuum or something in the background? I like to call, we have 2 soundtracks to our Up North life. One is a veritable cacophony of bird sounds that starts at about 4:30 in the morning and does not stop until it is pitch black outside. And I never thought I'd be this person, but every once in a while I'm like, oh my God, stop, you're exact, yes. But every once in a while I'm like, oh, it's the Blue Jays, because I've been here 3 months and now I know birds.
Not the team.
No, not the team. The really screechy,
the actual
pretty but
birds.
Screechy blue birds. And the other soundtrack de notre vie now is lawn work.
Oh, lawn work.
Ride-on mowers, pushy mowers, people with their blowers, just everybody working on their lawn.
Too much lawn work for my
much lawn work. So no vacuum, lawn mower or lawn leaf blower or something. And yes, gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. Also, high adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears. Yes.
We also do have one neighbor that just makes that sound.
Well, it's not her fault.
Yeah.
She was born that way.
She's a transformer. She's more than meets the eye.
She's a robot in disguise?
No, that's what you'd think she was. But it's very clear she's a robot.
Oh, Misty, you and I were destined to meet. It is a wild.
Oh, she does the gummy bears?
She does the gummy bears theme song. Of course she does.
I'm a big. We're going to get into this a lot during this. I grew up in the 80s. My sort of coming to the beginnings of adulthood through adolescence and my opinion of general arts of the 80s, and this is the films, the music, the television, all things I'm a very big fan of in general. But I think the 80s was responsible for primarily hot garbage. There is almost no good art that came out of the 80s. I'm very willing to go on. That is your opinion. It's not an au contraire. That is totally my opinion.
But
I understand.
My opinion is au contraire, mon frère.
But no, your opinion can't be I'm wrong. Your opinion can be...
It's contrary to yours. I have an au contraire opinion to yours.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
My opinion is not the same as your opinion.
Fair. That's a fair statement. I'm just going to grab
You grab a
towel. I'm not a big fan of a lot of 80s music. I played a lot of jazz. I was into jazz. So that's sort of where got my beginnings of my love for that. But I find I liked new wave, but there was nothing else that I really felt.
Oh my God. I loved the whole Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, teen mall star pop.
And don't get me wrong,
Samantha Fox was 80s. And this again.
You are not selling it on me.
But again, it's like the stuff.
The classics of Samantha Fox.
Or Def Leppard. I don't know. There was so much. And again,
I'm not a fan of the hair metal.
We are, how many years difference are we?
11.
11. So this was cool. This was my introduction to sex, Samantha Fox and hair bands with super tight pants and slightly androgynous, but not singing about super guy stuff. But while they wore eye makeup and ball huggers and I don't know.
I get what you're
Madonna
talking. You're just to me, you're describing things that are recognizable of the 80s, but I don't think those necessarily make them good. I find that and don't get me wrong, there's things I like. I wouldn't qualify them as good. I'd qualify them as the beginning of what got to good.
Oh no, I disagree.
Like, I love Hill Street Blues. I think it was the beginning of all of that very sort of interesting, serialized police procedural that I quite enjoy, and I think eventually got to places that were really interesting, and they had to start from somewhere good. Hill Street Blues was that. I think that I love Simple Minds. I think they're a phenomenal band. They create some great music.
New Order.
But
and like...
if I'm not going to sit down now and put them on.
Oh, I do.
No, I know you do.
I do. I listen to First Wave in the car all the time. And like, I don't know, I'm thinking of like, and again, it was my childhood. It was different. Like, I think about things like the Garfield. Like, I loved Garfield, and like the fact that was such a big Garfield was such a big thing.
Yeah.
Bumper stickers and like notebooks and shit like that. Different Strokes.
Different Strokes started in the 70s. Both Different Strokes in the 70s.
Yeah, okay. These
in the 80s though, you like got. Alf. Yeah, Alf I've always thought was a terrible show. There was virtually no comedy in the 80s that was good.
I disagree, but I think it doesn't hold up well by our more evolved standards. Like,
but there's a lot of comedy.
I think Eddie Murphy in the 80s.
I knew you were going to go there, but in the end run, there's a lot of comedians whose comedy still holds up.
Yes.
And even though it was older, how funny is it really if your comedy can't be listened to past a certain decade?
But there are still bits of Delirious and Raw that I think are absolutely hilarious that aren't the reasons.
And when we were talking about television, in all fairness, there's not a lot of great comedies. Because of films, I think there was the beginnings of really good comedies. And Eddie Murphy was responsible for a lot of that. I think 48 Hours was an incredible comedy film.
48 Hours, the 80s?
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop was the 80s.
They came out within about a year of each other. Technically, 48 Hours came out before Beverly Hills Cop.
I remember also, and I have to start cooking soon.
You start cooking.
Because our food's supposed to go in the oven in 5 minutes.
Well, do you have the oven setting on? Nope.
It is now.
There we are. The Eurythmics, I will give this to Joseph, that of the 80s, there were certain bands and certain albums. Prince.
Oh my God, yes.
But Prince to me is not a decade. Prince is such a wholly unique creature. What's going on here?
I don't know. You plugged it in, man.
Shiza.
Oh, no.
Let's move some stuff. So
I know, but I'm trying. Okay. Yeah. There goes El Diablo's cocktail and attack.
Oh well, you can have another cocktail. That's very easy to remedy.
I'm sorry. Can you push that back? I'm just gonna get in here. Maureen, I forgot to message you yesterday.
Oh, I'm gonna say
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mo. I hope you had a wonderful day. I'm sorry I'm a bad daughter-in-law. You take that.
Nope. Okay.
Wow.
We made it look like something was ending, but it didn't. It's fine. Everything is fine. We're good.
I'm going to do something fun here.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to do something fun.
You do something fun. I'm going to try and fix all the stuff that's going wrong here.
I need my recipe and stuff like that.
That's what I'm trying to fix here.
Beans.
So, we're having a hell of a day here.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get this all...
Wow. Never a dull moment in our house. Okay. So, I'm not doing pie crust tonight because it was going to take way too much time and yada, yada, yada. And also, these days, I don't like to make tons of crust because then I make one on the show and then I make one before the show and then we have to eat all of that stuff. Next time someone's coming to visit us, I'll make dough / crust / whatever. But what we are going to do is we're going to wilt some spinach. The recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of olive oil. What I'm going to use, because I'm a little bit crazy like that, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Bada bing. Bada bang. Como eso, as we say in Espanol. Okay. And then for the 3rd spoon, what I'm gonna do is over here in this mason jar, I have the oil I use to fry my shallots in. So I'm just gonna grab a tablespoon of this
I'll make the other drink.
to fry my spinach or to saute my spinach in. So we've got 2 tablespoons of olive. It actually calls for 3, but I am using this kind of infused shallot oil in here. And we're using the scary machine. We want to get this warm. Sorry, friends, that whole dig threw me off. I feel like it messed with my juju.
You're fine.
Thank you. I know you're fine. And I've got a teaspoon, pardon me, of minced garlic going in here, and we're just gonna get this going a little bit. It's hissing at me today. I don't know why it's hissing at me, but why should this be normal? Everything else has been a little bit woo. So yeah.
Just fill the drink.
It's all good. So we're gonna get that to come up in temperature a tiny little bit. We have the recipe for marshmallows up. I don't think we did.
I don't know why they won't disappear.
Why? Hold on. Your mother just said we had a marshmallow recipe up.
Yeah, I know. I fixed it.
Oh, okay. There you go.
It was up there, but I fixed it.
C'est mieux. Maintenant, tout réglé. All fixed. In this, I have been draining some spinach that I washed super well. Friends, always wash your spinach super well. Unfortunately, it tends to be a magnet for like E. coli and stuff. So I've got 3 cups of fresh spinach that we're going to dump in here. And we're just going to wilt this. And it really doesn't take long. And also, if you've never cooked spinach, the thing that always amazes me is how much it cooks down. So not so much for this recipe, but in general, like if you want to make a cream spinach or you have people coming over for dinner and you're like, I'm going to offer them some kind of sauteed spinach, always go with what looks like too much. Because you're going to see in a second, I'm just going to go overhead here. You're going to see, here's, it's all right. No, please. Last time we tried to fix the technology, drinks happened.
Well, no,
This
but
is
I'm
okay.
That's
okay.
not fair.
I know.
Okay, that's all I need to do. That's all I need to do is tilt it.
Yeah.
How did it do that?
Yeah, sure.
How did it
I don't
do
know.
that?
Anyway, you see what the volume is here. It's fine. I'm literally using this for all of 2 minutes. So you see what spinach volume we got now. It's like a decent voluminous amount of spinach. And in about a minute or two, it will reduce by at least half. So always remember. Thank you very much for rectifying that. Much appreciated. So yeah. So this doesn't have to cook for long. Also, the thing I love about sauteing or blanching or whatever green veg is how green it gets. It takes on this lovely, you know, right.
What's going on with my life? I
don't know.
I quit.
Don't, but also please don't touch me. So yeah, we're just gonna saute this up probably for another. I'm just gonna hit the power, the heat one more time. Turn it up a tiny bit. Shauna is echoing with a double voice. I'm on a time delay. Might have to do with everything else that's going on here. So hold on, friends. See, 2 seconds ago, and I'm sorry if I'm speaking double talk. Is that any better? Look at that. We had a full pan of spinach, and now when it's wilted, it's just a wee bit of spinach. We're going to turn that off. I'm going to take this off the heat. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to go back here. We're just going to let that cool down a little bit. So much going on. While that's cooling, I'm just going to grab a few things from the fridge. I would love for Danny D to come back and talk to you for 1 second. Oh, good.
Why do you have to grab it right this second? That's okay. Hi! Excellent. It's fixed now. Is that any better? Nope. It is fixed now. Trying to sort out what that is.
And Ruby Rose. I got some milk.
Sure, they will tell us what's wrong
I got some eggs.
as it happens.
I got a bowl. Thought I had a bowl. Now I have a bowl.
You have a bowl? You're making a bowl of what?
Why don't you talk to me?
I am talking. I'm talking.
All right, excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. All right, into this bowl, we're going to crack 4 eggs. So it's not a crazy amount of eggs for this quiche recipe. Oh no. Do it. Tray. There we go. And milk. 1 cup. Whisk. The recipe calls for whole. I don't know if I'm doubling up and if I'm annoying you. If I am, just put it in the comments.
I'm fixing it. If it's still doing it, let me know. I'm gonna.
The recipe calls for whole milk. I never keep whole milk in the fridge. You can use a combination of cream and milk if you also don't keep whole milk in your fridge. We have got eggs. We have got milk in our bowl. I am just going to grab.
Here we are. Here we are.
I have been draining some sun-dried tomatoes over here. Look at that.
That's
timing. Look at it.
All right. Oh, we're doing some sun-dried tomatoes here. Here, I'm just gonna move that just slightly so we can see what's going on. All right. All right. What is a sun-dried tomato?
Tomato dried in the sun. So we're gonna cut these up.
That's all you got?
That's all I got. We're gonna cut these up into little strips here. Half a cup of these. I don't know. Similar to the shallot oil. Part of me says like I always keep the oil from stuff. If it's artichokes, if it's sun-dried tomatoes, because having infused oil is nice. Even on days where like you feel like I don't know making pasta, but you don't feel like making a whole sauce, having an infused oil handy, be it sun-dried tomato or basil or chili oil, any of that, it just kind of it adds nice flavor without needing to do a shit ton of work.
That's what it is. Oh, I see what it is. Boom. Figured it out. Know what the problem was.
All right, well, c'est très bon. We're going to fix the problem. See, friends, no problems, only solutions. So we've got these lovely strips of sun-dried tomato. We have some eggs and milk. Can you pull up my recipe one more time,
one more
please?
time.
Thank
Your
you.
recipe. Boom.
Milk, sun-dried tomato.
No, it's not in your earphones. I figured out what it is. We changed a new microphone, and the microphone got doubled by accident. My mistake.
Into the egg, sun-dried tomato.
I'm just gonna go main so you can see it.
I'm gonna put this in the bowl. Comme ça. Nice and fluffy.
What do you think the history of the quiche is? Why was it? Is it all? Do you think it's always a breakfasty thing?
Oh, I don't think so. I've been to so many people's houses where they serve quiche for dinner because it's full of protein. Mm-hmm. We have 4 ounces of crumbled goat cheese here. If you don't have the crumbly stuff, that's cool. You can just chop up 4 ounces.
Goat cheese?
Goat cheese.
Or you just get a goat and you squeeze it.
I have to wash my hands because I'm a terrible person, but I love goat cheese. So we got some goat cheese. We got our sun-dried tomatoes. I'm going to give our spinach 2 more seconds to cool off a little bit. So we're just going to add some salt and some pepper.
Salt and pepper? They're from the 90s, though.
Spinderella cut it up one time.
That's a whole other show.
Oh, eventually, yes, we will die in the 90s.
I think we gotta wait because the 90s is really not that far away, and it's not like it was really known for its food, though.
What decade would you say, truly, if that's the line of argument you're going to take, was truly known for its food?
I would say...
Because even like many food blogs, because I do research on this all the time, confuse a lot of the recipes from the 50s and 60s or the 60s and 70s. So what is truly a
Well, I would say there's a lot of food out of the 50s that I think you would recognize. There's a lot of food that comes out of the 20s, which we did, that are really recognizable elements because of prohibition and things like that. I think there's a lot of food, you know, and I think you can even go back. There's a lot of food that comes out of, like, you know, the late 1700s that really can get into some stuff that we recognize now. The 90s, gum that has juice in it.
No. I think, and again, you grew up on the West Coast, but like for me as a Montrealer, the 90s were probably the first time that I had like sushi was a big deal all of a sudden in places that weren't coastal. Yeah. You know, so that was like a big thing. There's some stuff, like there's definitely some stuff.
We had a lot of sushi.
Can I excuse you for 1 second, please? Yeah. I'm going to do this and put it in right now. It's against my better judgment for one reason and one reason only. I am introducing a hot thing into eggs. Normally, I wouldn't do that, or I would be very slow in how I do that. Why, El Diablo? Because we don't want to turn our eggs to custard too soon. So sometimes adding hot stuff to your eggs, or conversely, adding eggs, for example, to soup, as we discussed when we did the Golemano, you have to be careful because, you know, depending on the texture that you want your eggs to be, you could cook them without intending to cook them. And that's not awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with this. We're just going to stir this all up.
Stir that all in.
Stir it all up. I think I want to add a little pepper.
You want a little more pepper? I can pepper for you.
I got it.
Stirring pepper.
I got it.
Trying to help.
All right, I appreciate that. You are very helpful.
Well.
And there we go. We have egg mixture and
before you pour, let me go overhead.
Okay.
Before you pour, let's get a visual of the pour happening.
Okay, here's my sexy pour, friends.
Pouring. Oh, look at that. Pour. That's a good pour.
Ooh-wee. I might have been able to do 2 quiches with this. 2 quickies.
A good quickie. Oh, you still got some room for a quickie.
We don't want to put too much in here, so again, I might look at me. I might
have a little quickie.
You know what? I might end up here. I'm going to try an experiment on the show.
Oh,
I'm going to put this in, but I'm also going to, while we're doing something else, I'm going to grease a muffin tin, and I'm going to take the last bits of what's here and just pour it into a mini muffin tin that I'm going to spray with. We have
another one of these, so we can just like roll it out and put it in if you want to make it with crust.
No. Okay. I think I'm just going to make some egg cups to be continued on the egg cups.
Egg cups to be continued.
To be continued. If you could just open the oven for me, please.
Sure, by all means.
Because considering how good we've been about spilling things, both of us today, let's just...
Wow. You do that. You put it in there. So that's going in.
This is going in here for... We're going to put it in for 45. Timer. 45. It could potentially go for an hour. I'm going to
45 to start.
I'm going to check it in 45.
Oh, we didn't also check in, by the way. Let's just quickly, now that I was going to fly in, but then I thought, well, we haven't checked in where he is. Where is he? Now, a lot of people know. There he is. Hey, Mr. Ling.
Oh, Mr. Ling, hanging in the basil.
Hanging in the basil plant. He's watching, knowing that eventually he'll have to fly in and see what that quiche is doing. Little known fact about Mr. Ling. Not a real man.
What do other people say?
In fact, made of wood. They're all mainly having something to say about the mic.
Sorry, friends.
So everything is fine. What I had, just so you guys know, I switched which camera we use for the overhead and for the fly cam. That just meant when I switched the two, I changed the input. It came with a volume. Normally I delete that volume or I automatically turn that off so that we only have one volume. Nothing else has been changed. Everything's exactly as we always use it. So if it's a little low, turn your volume up.
Yeah.
It's on you. It's on you. That's what I'm saying.
Quiche is in the oven.
Hi.
Hi.
What do I know?
Nothing.
You said you know.
But it's like we were doing this, but not because you did it this way.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. Head,
Oh, head.
We just phoned home.
Ouch.
What happened?
What do you say,
Joseph? My sharp bangs.
If you've a mic on the forward cam, the volume dips when you turn around oddly. As you... Oh, maybe... Did I turn off my microphone? No, I didn't turn off my microphone. No, everything's fine. It was off before I turned off our labs because I thought that might have been what's doubling up. And that would have meant that we only have the shotgun.
Misty can't turn us up anymore.
Well, try harder.
Don't you love these pants? They're so, like, I'm sorry.
They're very
I don't know.
pink.
I washed them with, like, the wrong color or something, so there's like,
this is very low.
Other colors bled into them, but I can't bring myself to give them up because, come on. Come on.
That is very low.
We're fixing the low mic.
Oh.
We're fixing the low mic.
That's why, because I did when I moved over there. Accidentally hit the wrong one. That looks like it's talking louder now.
Is this better?
Which is funny because now that I've had them all, just turn up your thing. Practical joke worked.
BASF commercial, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or was that Memorex? No, it was BASF.
With
the sound.
The sound wall, that was Memorex.
Memorex?
Yes. The guy sat in the chair?
Yeah.
Memorex. There we go. Hopefully this has been fixed. It has been fixed. I know it's been fixed. You just may have not
caught up yet.
It yet. All right. While that is happening, every week we like to have a beautiful, dare I say a sexy, dare I say gorgeous woman come into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
We put food in her face for a whole minute.
1 whole minute.
She devours it like a tiger killing a wildebeest, which don't exist on the same continent. And it's always incredibly, incredibly powerful and moving.
Were you moved? Did it move you?
It moved me.
Moved me. Like the falling of the Berlin Wall?
Like greed.
Okay. Gordon Gekko all the way, man.
Oh, I didn't realize that. What that was from. But this week we may have outdone it ourselves.
We might have.
It may be the sexiest woman. It may be the best food.
You decide.
You decide. Because...
Ladies and gentlethems, a sexy woman
eats food
for 1 minute. You made my head explode.
Made your head explode.
You made my head explode.
Well, I like to think it wasn't me. I like to think it was the Pop Rocks and Coca-Cola.
Okay, but honestly, sometimes I fully understand how you try to capture things for their visual effect, but I don't ever need someone to shoot directly into my mouth while I go.
That's what she said.
Good. Yeah, but normally I don't make that face. I'm not trying to show the people what's in my mouth. That's what
I've watched a movie like that. And I'm just saying, based on certain movies, seem to be very, very popular.
Okay. Okay, cool.
There we
Yay,
are.
Pop Rocks and Coca-Cola, and I'm still here to tell the tale.
I thought it was funny. It was a funny one.
It was a funny one.
I like that one. Have you ever done it, though? You have done it now.
Well,
Have you ever done it
I
to that
had never
point?
done it in my life. I never felt the need.
It was a thing that had to be done. especially as it became more and more
like urban legend style that you were gonna like.
So does and because it was I very distinctly remember it being like, and I guess it would be elementary school. Pop Rocks came out about the mid-70s.
Yeah, and now they're called what? Power poppers or something?
Power poppers, which makes them sound way more douchey.
Yeah, and like a bit white supremacist. But
I was gonna go with they have a Gatorade.
Oh, like that.
Power poppers. If you need energy, you need power poppers. It's like all candy from the 90s. That's what candy gave us. Is candy that yelled at us. Candy that yelled at us.
Yeah.
Hey, you need some candy? Snap into it.
But yeah, no, I had never. Love you, Misty. Have a good night.
Bye, Mist.
Enjoy what you're doing out and about in the public. Woo! But yeah, no, I had never done that before.
No. Well, speaking of something that we need to do.
Okay.
It's time. Wait. Oh, yeah, you're good. You're on the right.
I know.
It's time for our second cocktail. Now, in keeping with this. Now, this one I do remember. Oh, sorry. I did it to you again. I'm very sorry. I just dibbled your bibble.
It's all right. Me Too hasn't been invented yet. We're in the 80s. This was fully acceptable.
It was whoa, see. No, in keeping with these sort of sweet, fruity drinks that have an incredible sexual innuendo for a name, there probably is not one so good, so fabulous for a name as our next cocktail, which of course is the Slow Comfortable Screw Against the Wall. Now there we are. The slow. Yeah,
I was trying to do it for dramatic effect.
Very good. I like that word. And if I wouldn't have remembered it last time, it would have worked perfectly. But I did not. No, the Slow Comfortable Screw Against the Wall. Now, in this case, what we're making is sort of two drinks that got combined, or an aspect of a classic drink that gets added to a variety of different cocktails in the 80s. And this is the Against the Wall aspect. The Slow Comfortable Screw is a pretty basic drink. It's orange juice, it's vodka, it's SoCo instead of peach schnapps. Very similar to a Sex on the Beach.
And as to a screwdriver also.
And yeah, but again, it's the Southern Comfort that adds sort of this whiskey, peach whiskey kind of take on it. But then to that,
I'm sorry, I'm just going to put
add the Slow Comfortable... it is a Slow Comfortable Screw, which means we're adding some slow gin to it, which of course is a gin that is infused with sloe berries.
Are they stupid?
No, S-L-O-E, not S-O-L. Not like me. S-L-O-W.
Gotcha.
It's S-L-O-E, as in slow, as opposed to slow. Not slowly, but slow. Thank you very much. So, we have the Slow Comfortable Screw.
Sesame Street was also a big part of my life in the 80s.
Slow being the slow.
Yep.
The screw being the screwdriver, vodka orange juice. The comfortable being the Southern Comfort.
Okay.
Slow Comfortable.
Screw. That makes perfect sense.
There we are. Then, Against the Wall
Pourquoi?
adds the Harvey Wallbanger aspect to it. Of course, what gives the Harvey Wallbanger its bang is a little bit of Galliano or vanilla liqueur that's done as a float on the top.
Ooh.
So, the Slow Comfortable Screw gets made, we add the vanilla, it becomes Against the Wall. Just like she did.
Bang, bang. Harvey Wall, bang! Oh, that was nice.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that dance.
That's
Ba-da-bum-bum.
also the climax.
Holy shit,
Well,
man.
you just getting your hand in there and trying to move it away. No, don't. Don't move my stuff.
I'm going to step off.
Well, that's not. All right.
Freaking me out, man.
Well, you got to calm a little bit here.
You got to whiz the juice, man.
All right. So the first thing we want is in the concept of, we're making our first part, which is the Slow Comfortable Screw. The Slow Comfortable Screw is, of course, made sort of in two parts. It's made by, first of all, making the comfortable screw, which, of course, starts with, one more time, ingredients coming up. Here we are. We start off with 1.5 ounces of vodka. This is a shooken drink, so we're going to shook it into our shooker.
Oh, I get to do a shaker dance?
Yeah, I got to do a shaker dance. So we're going to do, we're making 2 of them, of course, so 1.5 ounces twice To that, we are going to add a ½ ounce of our SoCo, or Southern Comfort. This is our comfortable portion. I have this weird thing with SoCo. You and I were talking about when I had to buy this bottle with the drink, which is SoCo is so 80s for me. It's such an important thing because it was one bar I used to go to a lot, but only with a certain group of people. Mm-hmm. SoCo became a drink that I drank there, and I never drank it anywhere. Never had any impetus to drink it anywhere else. How much orange juice? 3 ounces of orange juice, of course.
Times 2?
Times 2.
It's funny, I used to have that with liquid cocaine. There was one bar where a bunch of us would go and sing karaoke and do shots of liquid cocaine, but it was like reserved to that bar. Like it was never something I would do anywhere else.
All right.
Yes,
there we go. There we go.
Totally radical, man.
Why don't you just grab me a cloth so I could just wipe that up, please?
Oh, that's soaking wet.
Well, it doesn't matter. If it's wet,
no,
this is
if
wet
it's
too.
wet, it's not going to dry. By nature, wet things don't dry things.
Yeah, I just wanted it to just wipe up some of that stuff. That's what I was looking for it to be totally dry.
There you go.
There we are. All right. So now that we have this done, just going to take that off. We are going to take this, and because we got the orange juice in here, we've also shaken it with some ice. We're going to make sure we double strain that, even though you wouldn't normally do that.
That was very cocktail of you. It was like a maneuver there.
Was there? You like that one?
Yeah, it was like a flair bartending.
I'm trying to get some flair so that I can appeal to girls with side ponytails.
Oh. It me. Oh, sorry, that's a...
There we go.
It's a now thing to say.
It you?
It me.
That's a now thing to say?
It me?
Yeah.
We used to say things like "it's me" in the 80s.
Yes. Well, we used full words. You mean?
Yeah. We might have said them a bit like this.
I never talk like that.
I never actually talk. I used to get in trouble for like a slow like second in the 80s. I tried to get away with that, and my father shut that one down right quick.
We're going to just drop a dash of our orange bitters again into that because we're doing it. It's not normally a part of this drink, but I do it anyways because I think it's
the Devanny D way.
It's the Devanny D way. To this, we're now just going to do, over the back of a spoon, we're going to layer our, we're not trying to get a layer, but I'm just going to move this so that people can see what the heck I'm doing.
I can do it.
I want to go overhead for a second, actually.
Surely.
There we go. So we're going to go with our drink, and we're going to just get that a little bit down the sides. This is, I need that back, please. I didn't ask you to take that away, but it's, here we go.
2 girls, 1 game. Oh, I dig it. I want to know what game.
There we go. So we have, there is our slow. So this is giving us the top rim there. And the final thing that we want for this is our vanilla.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Welcome. We're making cocktails. What are you up to?
So the last thing we're going to do is our vanilla float. That's going to go right over top. Again, use the back of the spoon to get the float nice and even. It just sort of disperses off the sides. This is why you want to do it over the back of the spoon, as opposed to pouring it in one drop. That's, of course, going to just make it a little easier for it to spread.
I dig it.
There we are. So you have that float over top. With that...
Can I go back to the main cam? Main cam.
I'm just going to grab this again. Normally I would do a wheel, but we're just going to go super 80s here.
See, it's so funny because I think Slow Comfortable Screw Against a Wall, is a hypersexualized cocktail name that probably wouldn't fly today if you were making a new cocktail. But like, I was thinking of stuff that used to make us giggle. Now this was more in the 90s because I really started to be able to drink illegally in public in the 90s. But like stuff like the orgasm, the slippery nipple was a big one. The blowjob shot was a big, like...
well, I used to go to college, And our bar that we would drink at was there was a bar across the street, and that just happened to be a strip club.
Yeah.
So we drank at a strip club.
Your college bar was a strip club?
Yeah. So it was a little bit more overly sexualized. Not only was it a strip club, it was a strip club in New Westminster called Mugs and Jugs.
Mugs and Jugs. I love it. Thank you. It's 80s night.
80s night. Oh, there's the, there we go. So, that had stuff in it, didn't it?
Wowza.
There we go. So what we're looking at this is the vanilla float on the top. We don't want to disturb that too much yet.
Too late. Cheers.
Or you can.
I stirred it because that's the kind of gal I am.
I like that drink. I think that is of all of the sort of this style of 80s sort of fruity drinks, I like this one. I like SoCo though.
I like the SoCo, but here, we're going to do a little PSA with El Diablo for 1 second. You need this in your bar, okay? It's not hugely expensive. You're not going to drink it every day, but hot damn. Galliano is so tasty. Do it. Treat yourself.
I agree with what you're saying. I think it's a nice thing to have. I don't know if it's necessarily...
No, I mean, I'm presupposing that people already have like a vodka.
Yeah, but I'm talking about even for sort of the mixer one. A Galliano is I would put it on my second or third tier vote for sure.
I think you should have it in your house, and I think you should listen to me because that's how I am.
Let me tell you what you should cook.
My cooking's already in the oven.
I know.
It's ready to go.
I know.
Guess what time it is?
What time?
It's music time.
It's music time. We don't. It's very hard especially when you do an 80s show. We don't. It's not like we can call up Kajagoogoo or
Cuckoo. Oh my goodness.
or
Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood, or Martha and the Muffins.
Or Debbie Gibson, or
Well, actually, we could call it Debbie Gibson.
No, Debbie. What was Debbie Gibson just in? Oh, the musical episode of Lucifer. Debbie Gibson was in that. Wow. It was random. Yeah.
It does sound random.
It was random.
But
yes,
we can't. So we needed something musical that really led to the 80s, and I was going through our music library of artists we've had on, and we have something. What's going on?
Somebody just said that they didn't get to their annual Montreal show last year. Hiya.
Well, good to see you.
Good to see you, Danny.
Oh,
that's
hello.
Awesome. Hi.
Tesla Zap. Hello, Tesla Zap. I'm sure I know you then.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, not awesome that you didn't get to make your trip, and hopefully soon.
Oh, excellent.
Remind us where you're from.
Fantastic. But what we do have is one of our regular artists who did one of the best sort of 80s rip-off metal, hair metal songs I've come across in a while. He did a bunch of songs over the New York, would go to the Wiggle. Oh, I think I know exactly who you're talking about, who you are. We have, so this is our, we haven't had a song from Ben Cardilli on for a while.
So it's Ben Cardilli time.
It's Ben Cardilli.
Folks.
With his song, House Rules.
House Rules.
Ben Cardilli!
You ain't been doing nothing like a lump on a log. See, you don't cook well.
See the pick up on your shit and we're through. No more Game Boy, quit making your noise. If you wanna find you something to do, these are my house rules. Leave the seat down or get out of town. Hang a paper from the back or grab a suitcase and pack. For every dish done, I lower my gun. If you don't take out the trash, then you're a thing of the past. House rules. House rules. House rules.
Ho! Oh, no, not back yet.
Ben Cardilli.
Excellent! We're back, Mr. Ben Cardilli!
Sorry, I'm over here feeling
Yes! What is going on? This is all lighting up, doing some weird stuff right now. I don't know
what is happening.
I don't know if our internet's being wonky. Oh, now it decided to just yell at me. Oh, thanks. You can yell at me.
La vie de campagne.
Yes, we just lost the chat. While you're doing that,
I'm just.
Why don't you do that here so I can get on the chat?
I'm gonna do one more. I literally have maybe 15 more seconds of this. So if you could just be your lovely, charming, entertaining self.
Oh, we just lost it. I think we just lost it online.
Did we?
Yeah, I think we just crashed. I think we just lost our internet.
Did we lose our internet?
Yeah.
Should we keep talking like we're still online?
Well, it should come back in a second.
Maybe. Perhaps no.
Yeah, we just lost something over here. I don't know what's going on.
What is...
That's why I'm keeping this up here.
You keep the things up. We're going to keep talking.
That's why I think we dumped out, is because we lost the web.
It's possible. I don't know. Our internet is very spotty in the last 2 days. Oh, are we back?
Well, it's still working. It's still sending on here, so that's fine by me.
Hiya.
So it's still sending out.
We're not sure if we're live. We're not live.
I don't know what's going on here.
But we love you. If we're live. Rock on, party friends. If we're not.
Yeah, no, we're dead off of the...
Our internet's being funky.
Our internet has gone away.
Oh.
So you deal with that.
I'm gonna try to deal with this. I don't know if you can hear me. If you can hear me out there in internet land, hi. Sorry, we live in the mountains now, and sometimes the internet just goes all blah, 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 blah. But we're trying to get it back. I'm not even sure if you can hear us. Our chat is gone for the moment. Perhaps I'm coming. The dulcet tones of my voice might be reaching you. They might not. But yeah, we'll figure it out in a second. Hang tight. Thank you very much for your patience. We love you. You're awesome. Tonight has just been a weird...
red light over there. Oh, is it green?
Is Mercury in retrograde? Is something happening? Like, I don't pay attention to this shit.
We should be coming back.
Somebody tell me. What is happening?
We should be coming back now.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Macorepo. ¿Qué pasa aquí?
I think we're
what is going on?
There we are. We're back.
I do not know.
I think we're back in.
I understand food and alcohol and sexiness. I really don't understand the internet. I love you guys, but I don't understand the internet.
All right. So for those of you who have missed what was happening, we have our internet went down, but we're back. It's up.
It's up?
That light over there that is now green was red.
Oh.
And that's how we can tell that it was bad.
It was bad internet.
So now I'm just quickly making sure everybody is here.
Are you back? Did you hang out?
There we are. Excellent. Everybody is there. Okay. All right. So we're fine. I'm just going to quickly get back into the chat.
But also, thanks for sticking with us. That's super awesome. I know that, our general attention span these days is about 22 seconds. So, I appreciate that. That's amazing.
That may have been what happened before, why we got bumped out of something. But it's very weird that it keeps asking me to...
I don't know. Hi, I'm Elle Diabloe. I count to 8, and then I start again like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 2, 2, 3. You know, like I don't. Zeros and ones should make sense to me because they're in my wheelhouse, but they don't.
You're good. I don't think you need to worry about it. I think that's what I want to try and figure out.
All right. What's going on? What do we have to do right now? We did a cocktail. We did a music.
All right.
And we were about to ask the people a question, so we definitely have to
them a question. Or do you want? What are we playing our game? You don't even have a game in there.
Oh well, we could play a game.
Want to play a game?
We could play a game.
Let me just put this.
I want to make sure the people can like be with us.
Log in. If they make me answer questions about traffic lights one more time. Tractors. There's no tractors in that picture. Where's a tractor?
I guess the red thing is a tractor. You know.
Traffic lights.
We are not a robot, so we don't know these answers.
We don't know. But there's one bicycle.
But why did you pick the there you go. Don't pick the like the pavement where there's a bicycle shadow.
I hate this.
You're too intellectual about your robot answering
Look
questions.
at this. This is again.
Yeah,
this
boom,
is,
boom, boom, boom.
That's what I did. Boom. And bang. And now it's asking me in the fucking door.
Unput that one.
Why? Because there's a little bit of right there.
There's also nothing that is there.
The lights are there. But I guess
this is what I was asking before. Do you select the pole or do you select? I think the pole is part of the light.
Well, the pole is part of the light.
And there was pole in that thing.
I don't know. You tell us. Is the pole part of the traffic light?
I think
is
the pole
traffic
is
like when
part
you've
of the
got to do
light.
that like I'm not a robot bullshit? Is the pole part of the traffic light?
That was my whole question before.
I know.
You told me it wasn't important.
It is important, but
all right, we're back.
We can chat again. We're enabled. I feel empowered and enabled, everybody. 2021 me is so different from 1982.
Oh, there we are. Making sure that showed up. Yeah.
I don't know if we have any viewers who are born like after 1990, because I know a lot of you. But like, I often think about the fact that one of the biggest selling toys when I was a young girl was Get in Shape Girl.
You told me about this.
It was It was a line of workout gear for kids. Now I kind of understand it because like the whole Jane Fonda workout aerobics craze was happening, and like I love that. I love all of that. Watch Perfect if you've never watched it. Like so good. But like
I like the other one too. It's the one we're watching right now on the Apple TV.
The one on the Apple TV is called Physical.
Excellent.
But also like Olivia Newton-John's physical video is just such a delight. But like, how fucked up is it that they were marketing toys to children?
Yes.
That were like lose weight and be like mommy toys. And like I remember I had like a little headband and little wristbands and some weights. They were probably like 0.5ers and a workout mat. And like this was the thing that I remember wanting for Christmas is like I really wanted this toy. It's the 80s were weird.
Do you know how weird the 80s were? This weird.
That weird.
That was so weird. Bam. I love this. This is my favorite pose. Anytime somebody takes a picture of me now, that's my pose.
I'm kind of impressed though, because kids are normally hella flexible, and I think I'm more flexible now. So, yay me! Yay! I've evolved.
All right. I have a game that I made for you.
Okay.
Do you want to play a game?
Sure, let's play a game.
Let's play a game. This is a good one. I like this game. This is a game.
2 girls, 1 game. You want to play a game?
I created this game for us to play.
Okay.
It's about 80s movies.
Okay.
The game is called, quickly, just going to hit that button. The game is called A Shitty Description.
A Shitty Description. Okay.
80s edition. So this is, I'm sure we've all seen these on either Reddit or YouTube. And they're basically sum a movie up in the most shitty way possible, or the most terrible description of a movie that really still sums up the movie. And you have to now guess what this movie is.
My favorite is when people do it for their jobs. Like describe what you do
in the
like,
terrible way,
base way or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So this is, I think you'll get this. It's a really simple game, but it's, I think, and I'm quite proud of some of the ones that I've come up with. So you ready for your first one?
Keep in mind though, in 1980, I was 2 years old.
And again, I think for the most part, in fact, I know one of these is one of your most favorite movies in the world. And in fact, you like a lot of 80s movies.
Because it's like my decade.
So don't tell me that you don't think you'll get it.
But
I know there's a couple you haven't seen in here.
Oh, for sure.
All right, so the first one, the description.
Don't judge me.
Oh, it's going to hit for some reason why I didn't go. The first one is, a young man tries to get a foreigner on his friends and family plan, and in return, the foreigner gives him free health care.
E.T.
That is, of course, E.T.
Well
the
done.
extraterrestrial.
That's amazing. We are so delayed from there to here, but
Well, whatever.
I'm just saying.
I think that's a good.
That is
well
done.
Thank
Well
you very
done.
much. Thank you very much.
Very well written.
All right, the next one. Detroit decides to defund the police by only funding one cop.
RoboCop?
That is, of course, RoboCop. Very good. You're doing very well.
my brain automatically went Beverly Hills Cop, and you're like, no, Detroit. Detroit is in the clip.
The key in that one was Detroit. All right. The next one. A man proves that he likes baseball way more than he likes corn.
Field of Dreams.
Yes, it is. Field of Dreams. You get it. You're good. You're 3 for 3, and I don't think you've ever been 3 for 3 in any game we've ever played so far.
Other than sex.
Well, no, I mean on the show. We have not had sex on this show. Please.
OnlyFans.
Stir Crazy After Dark.
Yeah.
All right. A young man's sense of relaxation is proven by doing far more than any young man has done before. One more time. A young man's sense of relaxation is proven. Ferris Bueller's. Oh, I hit the wrong button. There we are. It is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Again, if you're young and you haven't seen, or younger than us, pardon me, we're all young at heart. If you're younger than us and you haven't seen these movies, like, watch these movies.
It's fantastic.
These are good movies.
All right. A group of people play a board game, but are not totally on the same page about how that game is actually played.
I want to say Clue, but like that's...
That is Clue. That is Clue.
Also,
that is Clue.
One of my
They're not sure about even how they're supposed to act in this movie.
I love this movie. So
All right, next one. A group of people learn that even if you keep your head in the clouds, you will never escape your daddy issues.
Is it Dirty Dancing?
It is not your first wrong.
Well, because like I know
what you're saying.
It's a daddy.
This is
even if you keep
your head in the clouds.
I don't know.
If you keep your head in the cloud city.
No, I'm allowed to lose one.
You're allowed to lose one. That is, of course, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, see, I'm not a Star Wars.
But again, Daddy Issues is the greatest Daddy Issues movie.
You're right.
Other than Dirty Dancing is Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
And finally, a woman's gender identity issues prove once and for all she's Jewish.
Dirty Dancing?
A woman's gender identity issues prove once and for all she's Jewish.
I don't know. Tootsie.
Yentl.
Yes.
One I'm really genuinely surprised about.
Duh.
And once again, that has been a shitty description. Oh, that was a good game. Mm-hmm. You did very well. Of all the games that we had
I can't believe I fucked up on Yentl.
Yentl was a surprise.
What kind of Hebrew am I? It's not good.
I wasn't 100% expecting you to get the.
No, but I should have.
Let me finish my sentence now. I wasn't 100% expecting you to get the Star Wars one, but I thought you might because it just does happen to be one of the most famous movies in the world.
And I have tried multiple times, in all fairness, and maybe this is why I'm like hesitant to like appear more on Twitch, because I figure people on Twitch know stuff about stuff that I don't know about. But like, yeah, I tried. I'm not so into it.
And again, in all fairness, neither am I.
The biggest selling point to me for Star Wars,
I've always been more of a Star Trek person than Star Wars.
Is Carrie Fisher, like, cause what a fucknut, and like what an amazing.
And she's not that at all in this movie.
I understood, but like,
I guess Princess Leia's kick-ass, but not enough.
Is it the one with the lift? The lift, or is it the one with the tickles, with the thing? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, that's funny.
That's kind of...
Yeah, I think that was a good game. We're going to play that game again.
We can play that game again.
I like that version of that game. All right, where are we at?
We're at Q2.
We are at Q2, are we? Wow.
Yeah, let's ask the Q2.
Oh, so you want to check your key before we Q2?
I'll check my Q before I Q2.
Well, let's check your Q before you Q2 there, dude.
It needs more time.
Needs some more time.
The other thing I'm sad about
is... Did we Q1? We didn't Q1.
I thought we Q1.
We forgot to Q1.
All right, well,
we can Q 2 in a row. Because they actually go hand in hand. And I think they're going to make your head explode. I know.
You already made my head explode.
I know Q2 will make your head explode. Because it'll be the hardest thing for you to do. But
why do you do this to me? Because you're supposed to be my husband and my...
I know, but...
Is that our TV that's doing that or the internet?
That's probably the internet.
All right.
Let's see what it's going.
Just making sure our internet's still working, friends.
It's kicking out again here. There we're going. We're catching back up. All right. We're good. Yeah, and a few people have said it, and I've noticed it too. The internet in general has been a bit weird today. So it's...
All right, so maybe it's not just us in our mountain life. Maybe it's just the... Maybe it's because Elon Musk went to space.
No, he didn't. He's the only one that didn't.
He didn't go to space?
No, it's Jeff Bezos and
Branson. Didn't Musk go to space?
Not yet. He hasn't. He's going to, but he hasn't yet.
Okay. I thought he went the other day.
No, it was Branson that went the other day, and then today Bezos went.
Oh, yeah, like in a rocket that looks like a dick.
And I don't know why they keep coming back.
Like
this is the only question I have.
Yeah.
Why, if they're gonna send these boneheaded dick farts
who don't deserve
who have all the money in the world that they can fart around with going to space.
Yeah, not solving any kind of
not actually fixing the world.
Yeah, which they could do, like literally
or even
like this.
Their own companies.
Like this. Done. Fixed. Finished. Boom, boom. Fixed.
Jeff Bezos should never get to go to space as long as people are complaining about working for him.
Not only that, Jeff Bezos shouldn't go to space until everybody on the planet has drinkable water.
And even then, I'm not big on Jeff Bezos going. So I don't want aliens. I would hate if Jeff Bezos was the representative of us. The first person that aliens met went, oh, you guys don't like this?
Oh God, the aliens have been here for years. They're just planning.
I'm not cool with this.
But I don't believe billionaires should go to space before people on Earth have access to drinking water. But that's just my crazy, crazy Canadian sensibilities.
Who knows?
And I'm not even going to call them Canadian because our people don't even have proper drinking water. So,
exactly.
My basic human craziness.
All right. Our first question today. Simple question.
See.
What is the best movie of the 1980s?
Oh, eat a dick.
Best movie of the 1980s. I don't know if it's the best movie, but it's my favorite movie. My favorite director of the 80s has to be John Hughes. I love John Hughes. I love everything about John Hughes. There are some great movies. Apocalypse Now technically came out in 1980, though I do consider it a 70s film. There are some great films. I don't quite get the appeal of Field of Dreams. It's never been a movie that's connected to me.
Well, he was still young and hot and
but that's not why.
But it was also the American if you build it, they will come. You can do anything. It was this weird.
But to me, and I think The Breakfast Club is a near perfect film.
It's an excellent film.
But it is not my favorite John Hughes film. My favorite John Hughes film will and always will be 16 Candles. There is something about the chemistry between Anthony Michael Hall as a nerd and Molly Ringwald, but not in any level of romance, just as friends.
Yeah.
There is such an incredible chemistry. And also, it's also the dad. It's that scene between Molly Ringwald and her dad where he's realized he's forgot her birthday. And it's one of the most wonderful, touching moments on film. So I will always say, to me, 16 Candles, best movie of the 80s.
And I think this is one of those times where our age difference, and we don't often...
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
If you don't,
70s.
We don't talk about our age difference often because it doesn't come up. But I think when we talk about the 80s, this is one of the times where it obviously comes up a lot because we were at very different points in our development. You were at your like pubescent, music loving, whatever point, and I was like 3. Like I was born in October of 1978. So in October of 1980, I turned 2.
You were a kid.
I was
something like The Goonies would have really appealed to you.
There you go. No, it didn't appeal to me. The Goonies was one of the first movies I saw. My first 2 movies.
Can I guess what are your top 3
Can
candidates?
I finish my sentence for 1 second? The first 2 movies I saw in the theater were Bambi.
Yeah.
Which I had to be taken out of because it was upsetting.
Same thing happened to me for Band.
And my aunt, Baruch Hashem, who's no longer with us, took me to see The Goonies. And I was like 5. And up until the day that she died at 80-something years old, she would still say, A, how guilty she felt that she took me to see this movie when I was not ready for it. Yeah. And Shauna, you were inconsolable, and we had to take you out of the theater. And it took me probably until I was in my 30s to go back and watch it because it would just traumatize me as a kid. So Goonies, ironically, was a movie that did impact my 80s existence.
Can I guess your top 3?
Yep.
All right. Dirty Dancing.
Yep.
Flashdance.
Nope.
Flashdance is in your top 3?
Fashion-wise, Flashdance was awesome. It's not my top 3 in my top 3 movies.
All right. Then I'm also going to say Bull Durham.
Oh my God. I don't think I actually saw, like, again, because I turned 2 in 1980, therefore, meaning
I also don't believe that you have to be in the 80s to have a favorite movie.
Okay, of the 80s. Okay, then that's fine too, because like I discovered my love and it was a horny love. It was like a pubescent love of Kevin Costner. Like I discovered that when I was probably 12, so I was like just crusting the 80s. But Dirty Dancing is one of my favorite 80s movies. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is
really.
Oh yeah, and the Princess
Bride.
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride, yeah.
I think hands down.
Princess Bride is so hard because it's so not an 80s movie in so many ways.
But it is technically
in the 80s.
An 80s movie with
it is. It's very true.
With actors like Wallace Shawn.
Oh, Wallace Shawn.
Rest in
Mandy
peace.
Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin at the top. Carrie Elle was like Robin.
But Mandy Patinkin was still just pure sex hot on screen.
I still find I'd still bone Mandy Patinkin because like
really
yeah.
Homeland,
but like because he's hot and he's talented and I don't care. He's got a beard and he's a little bit old and shaggy. It's fine. It happens. But like
Ruby Rose says Close Encounters, and I believe I'm going to go on a limb here. I think Close Encounters actually happened in the 70s. Close Encounters was a film that Spielberg did just after Jaws. I'm going to say it's 79, but it's an excellent film.
Oh my God, Joanne. Hi. Hey, Joe.
Joe Britton.
Oh my God. Hi.
Oh, Joe Britton. Look, my cord is coming out.
Oh, your cord's coming out.
Well, my umbilical comes out of my shirt.
And my quiche needs some more minutes.
It's Joanne Britton. How are you, Joanne?
Oh my God,
it's
Joanne. So nice to not...
Fantastic.
I want to see your actual face, but seeing your figurative face makes me happy too.
Seeing your sentence really helped.
Okay, so Ruby saw it in the 80s.
Okay, saw it in the 80s. That makes sense.
E.T.
E.T. See, E.T. is a film that I've never gotten behind. I don't like E.T. I don't think it's a strong film. And I felt like it was one of the few films that Spielberg made that was for kids that I really felt was for kids. And I think I was about 14 when I saw it. And my parents, every summer we used to go camping. And we would go to the drive-in.
That's what your mom just said. Your mom just said that, yeah.
And I felt like E.T. was but the movie that came on after it, which became clearly one of my absolute favorite films, which is American Graffiti, which I love. It is a 70s film. It is George Lucas made it before Star Wars.
Yep.
One of the greatest memory movies of all time, I think. And really well shot, really well told. George Lucas's, in all fairness, his best movie.
Okay, but there were so, and again, you and I are obviously, because this is what's supposed to happen as people, we're supposed to like learn and evolve and learn and evolve, and our tastes get more refined, or we recognize the schlock that is schlock, and we love it because it's schlock, right? So like you and I have talked about this a lot. I have a small like basket of 80s movies that very few people like that I love. Like I loved it when somewhere in the 80s, Whoopi Goldberg did a bunch of random movies. She did Jumping Jack Flash, and she did like 2 other movies. Like it was before Sister Act.
Well, she did The Color Purple, which you got an Oscar.
Yeah, but no. It wasn't. She did The Color Purple. I'm talking about her weird comedy slash...
Well, she did Sister Act. Was that not in the 80s?
No, Sister Act was the 90s. So I'm saying...
She did a lot of stuff with Ted Danson.
So in the 80s, there was this weird pocket where Whoopi Goldberg made movies that were not The Color Purple that I loved. Jumping Jack Flash was one of them. Shelley Long made movies in the 80s that I loved.
Beverly Hills Scout.
Beverly Hills Troop. Beverly Hills Troop. Troop Beverly Hills, sorry.
Troop Beverly Hills.
She did Outrageous Fortune with Bette Midler, which was freaking spectacular. I don't think it probably hasn't held up.
I always liked A Money Pit with
She
Tom
did The
Hanks.
Money Pit with Tom Hanks. Like, I remember going to the video store our young friends, Google this.
Well, there
you
was
used to go to the video store, and there'd be a Velcroed thing that you take. Like, we used to go every Saturday.
There was a world, though, for a while, where Shelley Long was going to be a pretty big deal.
And I don't think Shelley Long is complaining about how she did financially, but like Outrageous Fortune was one of those, and there was another one. There was another one too. Like there was confusing with,
because in the 80s, the other one I remember was Goldie Hawn had that same rise because she did Private Benjamin.
And then she also did Bird on a Wire.
Bird on a Wire.
That was the 90s, I think.
Which I was background extra in.
Were you?
Yes, it was an extra in
Really?
Bird on a Wire that was shot in Vancouver.
Well, Kurt had a house in Vancouver. Didn't they used to live in Vancouver, I think?
Kurt and Goldie used to live at 12th and Granville. And I had some friends. We went to a few parties actually at, I want to say, one of the Prime Minister's sons. Could it possibly be?
Trudeau before his son died? Michelle?
Yeah. It may have been Michelle's place in Vancouver.
Yeah.
He had a place on 12th that we used to go to. That was every now and then. And Goldie Hawn would show up every now and then.
Yeah. But like, I don't know, there were so many weird pockets of cinema, because then I think about like the whole thing that started in the 70s but kind of really exploded in the 80s, which was like the more slasher films. So I think like the 80s, when you say that there was nothing good happening, I can understand when you say that it laid the foundation for things to come.
Definitely.
But I also appreciate like what it was. Like I love
yeah, I don't like the slasher film. I've never been a slasher film person.
Oh, and I've never been a horror film person until we got together. But like, there was stuff in the 80s.
Fish
like,
Called Wanda. I'll give
oh my God.
There we go.
Fish Called Wanda is one of my favorite movies. I love you so much, Ruby Rose. Miss you. Also,
Ruby Rose, come up.
Also, your photos from the other day, beautiful.
Mwah, mwah.
Beautiful.
Go watch those photos.
Fish Called Wanda, Clue,
I will get your
Dirty
thing.
Dancing. Just take a look at it and see if it looks like there's some Ferris Bueller.
Oh, I need probably a couple more minutes.
The Secret of Nim, was that an 80s movie?
Yeah, technically it was. But you know what? Of that kind of stuff, I will put
I'm just going to make you go
American
talk.
Tail.
Five Goes West. I'm going to switch places with you because I'm just going to pour myself a little.
Well, let me hit this button before
I know you did it. Don't worry. People understand.
She left. Okay, well, I've got you alone. Here's why the 80s is terrible.
Oh, let me ask you the second 80s question.
Oh, yeah, please.
Because this will break you. I'm pretty sure this may break you.
Okay,
Ready?
hold on.
So the first one was, what is the best movie of the 80s?
Okay.
What is the best song? Not band. Song.
Relax.
From the 80s?
Relax.
Which is hilarious, because you know what I would say the best song of the 80s is? Relax.
Really?
Yep. My favorite song in the 1980s.
Relax is the best fucking song of the 1980s.
Well, I'm a big Frankie Goes to Hollywood fan. That was my grade 12 year, which in Vancouver we have 12. You do the 11 and the Sage up here. well, that was my and Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Welcome to Pleasure Dome came out that year. It was us as the arty kids.
Relax.
That was their Relax came out, and it was the greatest song I'd ever heard in my life.
Listen, there are songs that I will listen to now.
I was so sure that this was going to break you.
Nope. Oh no, hands down. I listen, like, I do a lot more driving than Danny D does, and we have satellite radio, and sometimes I will listen to, like, 80s on 8 constantly. Mm-hmm. And there's stuff that often I'm like, oh my God, this song. Like, when I saw Debbie Gibson in the most recent Lucifer season, I was like, oh, Electric Youth, or I Get Lost, or, like, I tap into certain things from when I was, like, 13, whatever. Hands down, the best song of the 80s is Relax.
Relax.
Yep.
I will say the greatest musician to start playing in the 80s was Prince. I guess no, Prince started playing in the 70s.
Prince started playing in the 70s, and I think the difference is Frankie Goes to Hollywood, for me, is a band that had maybe a handful of songs that I thought were really amazing. And there was
I think the whole Welcome to Pleasure album.
Okay, but I'm saying a handful of songs. Yeah. In a career, one album is a handful. Like, really, the way I look at it.
But if all of the songs you make and then you walk away are great.
Again, a handful of songs.
Yeah.
When you look at discography, right? I look at Prince. I first heard Prince in the 80s because I was born in 78. And Prince was like, honestly, Prince and Madonna... Mm-hmm. I think were my introduction, and Samantha Fox were like my introduction.
You keep going to Samantha Fox.
Because I was like, first of all, I used to get made fun of because I had boobs when I was like 10 in the 80s, and people were like, oh my God, you're taking drugs like Samantha Fox. Like, and we were so young.
They do realize that you don't get boobs from drugs.
Well, also, like, but again, we were like 10.
And if so, what have I been doing?
Duh. So, like, no, there was again, there's a lot of stuff for being in the 80s. That was, like, my formative years and whatever. No. But, like, there's a lot of it that I love because it brings nostalgia. Mm-hmm. But Relax is a hands down, I don't know who can argue with the fact that it's a fucking spectacular song.
It is a great song. It is a great song.
And if we didn't have to pay royalties or get banned everywhere, I'd put it on right now. But
I saw them live. It was I saw Frankie Goes to Hollywood live with Belouis Somme at the War Memorial at UBC, and it was the last night of their tour, and it ended up being with them playing practical jokes on each other throughout the show. It was one of the most fun shows. Probably to this date my favorite concert.
You talk to them.
That I've ever seen. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I love that.
What do you think? You eat a lot more quiche than I do. I think it looks a little bit wet, but I think it needs to set out of the oven. Or
sure,
it could,
bring it out. Bring it out. I think
it could go for 2 more minutes. It could go for 2 more.
We got time. Yeah. Even though the internet has been spotty at best. I think we're good.
Sorry about that, friends. And honestly, at the same time, I'm glad to hear it's a province-wide thing and not just our mountain hideaway.
Well, yeah, I think it's a worldwide thing.
Is it?
Yeah, it's worldwide.
Oh, here's a question that wasn't on the. Well, Ruby said a fish called Wanda and The Thing.
The Thing. I love The Thing. I think of all of John Carpenter's stuff. Yeah, I give John Carpenter The Thing over everything.
The funny thing I think about the 80s was that, like, on one hand, it took itself so seriously, but on the other hand, it didn't take itself seriously. And it was, like, such a weird mix of, like, cocaine and Wall Street and money.
Yeah.
And then, like, cartoons and neon and, like, Lisa Frank? Please, someone who's my age be watching this. Lisa Frank, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was the Binders. Like the Mead.
Wasn't that the Trapper Keeper?
Yeah, the Trapper Keeper, but there was a specific design.
Lisa Frank?
Paul
Frank?
No, not Paul Frank. Paul Frank was the monkeys with the sock monkeys.
Yeah.
Lisa Frank, if I'm not mistaken, was...
Lisa Simpson?
No, Dan, stop doing that. In the 80s, on the Trapper Keepers and whatever, because we used to have a house in the States, and like we'd go and we do our preschool shopping in August. If I'm not mistaken, Lisa Frank was a designer who used to design. I'm going to look it up the second we're offline. It was like big and bold in 80s. So all of the Mead binders that were designed by her were like neon or big colors.
You mean like all of the binders, though? So she did the same as everything? But again, it's hard to say because everything in the 80s was big and bold and solid.
No, but this was like a specific... I'm sorry that nobody knows what I'm talking about. I'll find it. I'll post it.
Ruby Rose also went with Boy George, Carmen Chameleon. I love...
to the Boys' Mind.
Well, no. But I still think that Culture Club in general, probably other than Frank Goes to Hollywood, my favorite band, the band that I listened to the most that wasn't jazz. I love the first album, the one with Do You Want to Hurt Me?
Yeah.
But Church of the Poison Mind is...
exceptional.
An insane album.
But there's also bands that started like, I'm going to say 78, 79 that have carried through, like Depeche Mode, like...
well, the Eurythmics were another
The
band.
Eurythmics were another one. Good call, Joe Schmula. Like, and Annie Lennox to me is still like such an icon, like such a musical icon. I don't know. I think there's tons of, like, I don't think when you write off the 80s as like a culturally shite decade, I don't think that's fair because I think there were some gems in there. We were coming off the end of disco, so like the early 80s still had some fun disco blah blah. Madonna, who is one of like the biggest icons of pop music 80s. Mm-hmm. Tina Turner coming into her own, like truly like Private Dancer and all that stuff. That was the 80s.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
you know,
these aren't great pieces of music. I'm just saying.
This is not pieces of music. I'm talking artists.
Let me finish.
You said pieces of
music.
Let
me finish. I'm not saying these aren't great pieces of music and or great artists. Okay. Great artists have range. Great artists have range. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, we're talking about Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I don't think they're great artists. I think they put out an album that was one of the greatest albums of all time, but I don't put them as great artists.
Okay.
But, let me finish.
Okay. Sorry.
I think that the 80s has so much of that stuff that was either the end of something or the germination of something that was better.
That is fully fair. High five.
So it would be like, there was such a 50s hard-on in the 80s. One of the things you notice I didn't talk about tonight, which I think is the most overrated movie that has ever existed on the planet Earth, which is Back to the Future. Terrible movie. Nobody should ever watch it. It's a horrible thing.
It's not a horrible thing.
It's a terrible movie. It's a terrible movie. First of all, time travel, all wrong. Doesn't work that way. Give me a private message. I'll tell you how it does.
Yeah, but like Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox and the height of his Michael J. Fox.
No, you want to watch Michael J. Fox in the height of Michael J. Foxdom? You watch Bright Lights, Big City.
Bright Lights, Big City, yeah.
Or, in all fairness, you watch even Doc Hollywood.
Or Family Ties, but...
Family Ties was the beginning. I wouldn't say the height of his stuff. He did a lot of great films. His performance in Bright Lights, Big City is so... It's Alex B. Keaton mixed with all of these other characters.
And Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf's still not a great film to me.
It's not, but it's such an 80s movie.
It is. Just because you remember things.
No, but I remember really because I was young and like having...
take that out so we can let it sit for a bit.
And having like crushes for the first time, right? So
yeah,
like,
well that's the whole thing. You and I were of certain ages.
Exactly. Which is why I find this exercise fascinating.
Which is funny because when I consider my crushes
from the 80s,
I guess like the first real crush, like celebrity crush I remember, which still stays with me to this day, is Winona Ryder. Okay. Which I think I remember being in the 80s. Was she in the 80s?
Mermaids. Yeah, Mermaids. And no, Mermaids was the 90s.
No, Mermaids.
Yeah, no, Mermaids was the 90s. I was in high school.
Then what?
She was in... No, Winona Ryder was the 90s unless she was a kid.
And it wasn't a kid thing. It was
Like to me,
Alyssa
Winona-
Milano was the 80s because of Who's the Boss.
Yeah, Alyssa Milano in Who's the Boss? Nobody's going.
Oh my God, everyone had a hard on for Alyssa.
Not everybody.
Oh, okay, sorry. Good for you. But like,
I don't want to have a
Alyssa
hard on
Milano-
over children.
No, but Alyssa Milano and Who's the Boss was like that defined an 80s level of hotness also. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think in the 80s, who was there in the 80s? I was like, oh, Leah Thompson. I will give you Leah Thompson. The other one I would say in the 80s was Eric Stoltz. But Eric Stoltz and Mary Stuart Masterson in Some Kind of Wonderful.
yes,
I still think, to this date,
fabulous movie.
the greatest on-screen kiss.
Chemistry.
Kiss.
Okay.
Kiss. Stop trying to guess what I'm saying.
Sorry.
Kiss in the world is where, and it's not even the kiss at the end when they finally get together. Spoilers. It's the kiss when she's teaching him how to kiss so that he can kiss another girl. And it is the most insane thing I've ever seen on film.
I'm listening to you. I'm just moving our quickie over there.
Bring our quickie over.
I'm bringing it over so that we can.
I want to be your old man.
Oh, hold on. Oh, timer.
Oh no.
I was just doing egg cups in there.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness! Check it. Oh, wait.
Oh no, you bent it.
This
You
is
bent our
this
quitch.
is why I bent it quickly.
Oh, look at that quitch.
Okay, you know what? That's not too bad.
It's a nice quitch. Look at that quitch you have. Bring it over that side. There we are. Oh, look at that quitch.
Yeah,
It's a
let me
nice
just-
quitch.
I'm gonna. You said that just 2 seconds ago.
Let's. I'll get us some forks.
I'm just
And
gonna
some
cut it.
plates.
I just want to cut into it and see what's happening.
Well, we have
here.
like 2 minutes left. We should.
I know, so I'm cutting into it right now to see what's happening. Here we go. That's a big granddaddy piece over there.
All right. I'll have a granddaddy piece. A
Uh,
little spinach and sun-dried tomato.
They're
The
okay.
sun-dried tomato trend.
So yeah, so look at
all
us.
the trends of the sun-dried tomato.
Friends, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, sir. Next week, I'm
Oh
very
my
excited.
goodness, I'm so excited.
Next week, our show is The Office.
A delicious workplace. So it's our tribute to the TV series The Office.
Tell your friends.
Yes.
Tell your enemies if
Tell
they like The
everybody
Office.
you know.
Tell everyone you know.
Come watch the Office episode. Hopefully the internet
Oh,
will
look
be.
at that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's pretty.
It's a beautiful.
I just
quickie.
left half my quitchy.
Oh, you're. Look at this little-
My quitchy crust is
your
over
quitchy
there.
crust. It's all right.
That's
It's a
fine.
quitchy. It doesn't need a crust.
I like
I mean,
crust.
crustless.
I don't want crustless. I
Oh.
like my things.
Asked me, stopped me out, logged me out again with this.
I think our internet is bad. We love you very much. We're gonna eat quiche now, like 80s
Let's eat some
fancy
quiche.
people.
Let's eat some quiche. It's fine. There's still people there. We're good. They're all
You guys still there?
they're still there.
Oh, those are my egg cups. Hold on. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. I like a good quitchie. I like a good quitchie.
That is actually quite tasty.
Yeah.
For quite a few years of my life, I stopped eating eggs, and it was the stupidest decision I could have made because eggs are good.
Yeah, they're delicious.
And if you're a vegan, I'm sorry, but eggs are good.
Eggs are great. That is the show. Next week, The Office, A Delicious Workplace.
Yes.
Our tribute to The Office.
Main can, please.
Oh, we're on the make it. Stop looking up there.
Oh, right.
I know where we're at. It's been good. I like the pop rocks. I think
You like
you're
my
good.
pop rocks?
I think you're great with your pop rocks.
Oh,
I like
thanks.
your little pink pants.
Thank you.
Which every time I look down, I keep thinking you're naked from the waist down.
What are you saying about how you
Well, you've got very pink legs.
my
in all
skin
fairness.
color? I'm not this pink.
But still, it's
Jeebus.
pinkish. It's pinkish.
Divine Danny D. I'm not this pink.
I didn't say you were this pink, but I'm saying it where you're glancing.
You're a fair woman.
And you're a fair man.
Not really. I'm the Divine Danny D.
I'm Elle Diabloe. I'm not this pink. We'll see you next week, right here on the Stir Crazy Sanka Set. It's totally gnarly, dude. Totally gnarly.